Hello everyone, we're coming to you live from Silicon Slopes here in Salt Lake City. I'm your host Jack Cassel, and joining me for this episode is the Vice President of Product Management at Impartner, Gary Sabin. Gary, thanks so much for coming on this show.
Thank you. Thank you for adhering to the dress code as well. I'm
glad
we got to match.
See you got some herringbone there. You're just a little sharper. I like
Fantastic.
That. So for those that don't know Impartner, can you just start with a little background on the company and what you all do?
Yeah, so Impartner is a leader in the partner relationship management space. What that means is, 70% of all goods and services that are sold, from the phone in your pocket to the shoes that are probably on your feet, didn't come directly from a manufacturer, right? They went through some sort of distribution, whether a distributor or a retailer, or in the case of software, maybe it was through a consulting partner. So a lot of revenue for a lot of the big brand names that you know and are household names come through indirect paths, and they're sold through and by partners. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of things that go into managing the relationship with those partners, from helping to recruit them, to making sure that they're successful and trained and certified and knowing what they're doing, all those kinds of things. And that's where we come in, is we provide a really world-class partner experience that a brand can bring to bear to help facilitate and manage and support their partnerships.
Okay, very exciting, especially now given some of the macro and supply chain. I mean, you're really in the middle of a lot of this change and evolution that we're seeing in the markets.
Absolutely, it's essential. I think COVID was a big, amplifying force for that, right? Because all of a sudden you couldn't put, say, direct sales reps on an airplane and fly them all over. You had to rely on partners that were a little more regional, maybe new specific markets, niches, those sorts of things. And that's the way that you have to get your products and services out to market, is through other companies or other individuals that you've got to partner with.
Yeah, so a lot of this show here at Silicon Slopes is focused around community and leveraging the community to make change in the world. How does Impartner kind of fit into that equation and leverage your community to change the world?
Yeah, I think in two ways. We're growing a community of our own, just in terms of internally. We're trying to contribute to the community at large in terms of bringing in great talent, helping people to grow in their careers, produce valuable software and platforms to help solve real business problems, but also helping folks outside of that become heroes themselves. A lot of our platform sometimes makes careers for some folks, right? I've been able to have fun experiences where customers have called, say they've been in an acquisition, for example, and they're calling and saying, hey, we just got acquired, and they were looking at consolidating some of the redundant titles and also software platforms, and being able to have your platform, being able to demonstrate the value that we've had from that, has not only saved my job but helped me to expand role and those kinds of things. And also, on its face value, community is a little bit of a term that's even kind of used within our industry, which has often kind of been used, the vernacular of channel, right, or alternative channels to market through partnerships. But the definition of what is a partner is kind of expanding today, right? So traditionally you think of like a distributor or a retailer as a partner or part of that distribution channel. But really what defines a partner today, it's a lot different than it was even 10 years ago. You have influencers on TikTok, you have blog people, you have folks on YouTube, you have all sorts of other folks that are kind of influencing buying decision, and that's really part of the community that a lot of these brands are trying to build. And we're building our own community in terms of experts to help those brands build those communities. But that definition of what is a partner community or ecosystem is expanding quite a bit. So you've got to be thinking of not just your traditional partners, distributors, as I mentioned, but all these other folks who are maybe less formal, but they're a big part of the overall community that's influencing buying decisions. You think you're going to buy a car, for example, right? There's on average there's 25-ish touch points where your buying influence is actually influence along that route, right? And it may not be obvious folks that have a direct relationship with, say, the car manufacturer, but indirectly they do. So that sort of just wider view of the interconnectedness of all these different businesses, influence types of businesses, all together into ecosystem is really a big community aspect that we help to support.
Okay. And where you sit in that community, obviously you've got a stickiness to the product suite and the services and the solutions that you're providing. Can you elaborate a bit on the principles that guide Impartner today?
Yeah, so we feel like we have a pretty big responsibility. We tend to occupy some very foundational real estate within our customers' technology stack. It's really the front door through which all of their partners, and in some cases 70-80% of all their revenue comes through that, right? So it's a pretty big responsibility to be that front end experience layer, we really have to ensure that first and foremost what we're thinking about is, are we providing a really sort of consumerized level of experience for those partners? It used to kind of be folks would really focus on making the customer experience really, really razor sharp. You think of like an Apple, right? And everything down to where the box opens is like highly engineered to be part of the experience. And if it was a business to business type relationship, it kind of didn't matter if it was a little bit clunky or goofy or whatnot, because you had a formal business agreement. But that's not really the case. People are expecting that same level of experience, and so we're that front door through which these partners come in and interact with everything else downstream, and that's really the face of the vendor and the brand, and so that's key. So that's kind of one of the guiding principles, is we really have to focus on that end experience and make sure that it's ideal and representing well. The other guiding principle for us is we only grow if our customers grow. I think I mentioned earlier, you've been able to help some people make and establish and grow their careers, right? Those people have turned around and bought us 2, 3, 4 times. As they progress in their career, they move companies. Their first call is to Impartner. They say, I want to bring that same platform because that helped me in the last go around, and we're going to do the same thing here. So we have to be able to come in and demonstrate, hey, we're actually helping you reduce your administrative costs by 30%. You're helping you actually see and realize a 32% on average increase in revenue through your channel partners by virtue of using the platform. So we have to be able to help our customers actually individually kind of become heroes within their own organization, but also grow and attain the business objectives. Otherwise, we're subscription software, right? Like 90% of people here at Silicon Slopes, there's a lot of SaaS, right? And they've got to have a reason to renew, and if we're not delivering the goods, if you will, that doesn't happen. So our growth is tied directly to their growth, and that's first and foremost.
Okay. And speaking with the growth, maybe just lastly, what does the future look like for Impartner?
Future is very bright. There's a couple different things that we're excited about. One is expertise. We've really kind of noticed that it's not enough just to supply a platform or a tool. It's you're trying to help them deliver the end outcome, right? So somebody doesn't come buy Impartner because they want to buy Impartner because, hey, I want to implement some software today, right? They're trying to accomplish an objective. CEO came in and said, we need to increase our revenue by 20% through our channel partners. Ready, go. And they say, I have no idea how to do that, right? So they're coming to us for expertise as much as anything. So go back to that community question, building our own community and ecosystem of experts, having expertise internal is going to be a big part of our growth, so that we can help have those successes in the customers, help us to grow within them, and then of course within other brands that are near and influential. The other big thing that we see are twofold. There's a lot of network effect that's happening, I think, in a lot of industries, and ours in particular, where gone are the days where you'd say a Microsoft or an Oracle partner only works within that. There are partners that work with a lot of different brands, and there's a lot of incestuousness, if you will, to B2B relationships. And so that sort of the cross-pollination is important for us to help grow, as we have something to offer folks up and down that entire value chain, and as they interact with each other, the tail can wag the dog, right? And so a influential partner can say, you really ought to use this Impartner stuff, because the last people that we were working with, they really do, and it's easy to do business with them, right? So there's a lot of network effect there. And lastly, I think the future in general, not just for us, but is data driven. We've been investing heavily in data and our own ability to use that advantageously. It's kind of becoming the currency, if you will. It's not enough to just do something mechanically. It's in terms of provide, hey, we have a system that can facilitate a transaction. We need to be able to tell our customers and help them understand what they should do most surgically and strategically, because we're in an environment now, especially current state in the marketplace, where capital's not raining from the sky. People are being a little bit more reserved in their budgets, right? Those kinds of things. So we can't afford, and neither can our customers, to take any shotgun approaches to how we spend marketing dollars, which partners we work with, and being able to have data to drive that next best steps level of insight to suggest, hey, maybe we should spend money and dollars here, not so much here. This partner looks like they're getting ready to just explode. This partner is getting ready to implode. That's at the scales people are working with 40,000 partners, without a real phenomenal productized, packaged level of insight with data. It's really impossible to spot those things any other way.
Yeah. Well, Gary, thank you so much for coming on this episode. And we're very excited to continue to track Impartner and watch you continue to grow into the story you just shared.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.